Here we are looking at Without Within 2, which is not going to demo itself. From what I can tell, I'm getting a visual novel look from this, but we'll see. Going right into it. I kind of like the cartoonier anime style of this. Yeah, it looks like a visual novel. Oh, and it has achievements for a demo, which is not always bad. Probably lets you pick up the game if you pick up the full version from wherever you left off. I've never played, if there's an original Without Within, I am not aware of it, but here we go. I stood in front of my bathroom mirror, staring at the result. Well, it was worth a shot at least. Hey, when people kept going on and on about my eyes, I had to try something. I guess her eyes are always closed like that, and she just drew them on. Yes, ever since I became a YouTube celebrity, I've been following the internet's opinions about me. What? Latest comment, what's with those eyes?
Why are her eyes closed?
Your eyes ever open? Spoilers. And so on. If people stopped saying things like that, I never would have become so conscious about it.
Well, clearly, you need to learn to not read the comments, because YouTube comment culture is mostly garbage. Mostly.
Should have known whiteboard markers would never do the trick, though. Whew, I almost went with permanent, too. I noticed the crack in the corner above my mirror. Yeah, it had been there for well over a year now, but I still felt as though the wall had cracked after seeing my ridiculous face. Oh well, time to leave and clock in another restaurant shift. Still stuck in the opening chapter of my road to calligraphy stardom. Sometimes, it felt as if a troll had glued my pages shut. I locked my door before heading out, not that I had anything worth stealing. $2.50 for that ripped sofa if anybody was interested.
I could use a sofa. Hit me up.
Ha ha ha, what's with her face? Those eyes, lol. Time to clock in another restaurant shift after I wash off these damn markings. Oh, a new shampoo ad featuring Excelia. How I wished I could have hair silky smooth as hers. No need to pretend you never heard of her. Even my grandma knew of Excelia, the prodigy calligrapher.
YouTube calligraphy? Okay, I don't know. It's an angle I wasn't expecting, but we'll go with it.
I heard that in a recent calligraphy contest, Excelia's work moved one of the judges to tears.
What does it mean? Oh, what does it mean?
The judge murmured as she sobbed. According to rumors, she needed therapy afterward.
What?
Just by showing her face on that ad, Excelia had probably raked in more cash than I made in a year. Excelia seemed so unreachable that sometimes I wondered if she really existed. Well, I would find out for myself soon enough. A few months ago, I had received a grant to attend Excelia's upcoming show in Melbourne, Australia. By the time my luck turned around, without the grant, I never could have afforded those plane tickets. Yes, out of college and never been on a flight before. Leave me alone. First, let me go get this final restaurant shift out of the way. Wish I could spin the hands on the clock and make time go faster. Watch out, world. Excelia would soon meet her match.
That was quick. How long is this shift going to be? Okay.
No more checking my calendar 4 times a day for the moment it finally arrived. Today I would be traveling overseas for the first time. Were you expecting some gag where I woke up way late and missed my plane? Sorry to disappoint, but I hardly even slept last night. Maybe I could catch up and sleep during my flight, though I heard only a chosen few possess the gift of sleeping on a plane.
I don't. Unless I'm really sick, then I'll pass right out.
I spent the day pacing around in my living room and rolling on the bed in excitement. Pack? I did that 4 months ago when I received my grant. Anyway, for a 2-day trip, all I needed was my backpack. Heck, I had already bought the express bus tickets that would take me from Melbourne Airport into the city as well. I could head to the airport nice and early, but that would make me look like a child waiting for the theme park to open.
Why? You could probably find something to do in the city, but okay.
Come on, this was no holiday trip. I did this all in the name of calligraphy. A lady like me had no reason to rush. After changing out of my pajamas, I left the apartment and bumped into my landlady in the hallway. I pressed my shoulder against the wall to avoid being crushed by her body.
Good morning, Miss Vinty,
the landlady said. She lowered her glasses and stared at my backpack.
Where might you be off to?
I'm heading to Australia for a couple of days.
Australia?
With her shocked tone, you would have thought I was flying to Mars. The landlady softened her voice as if trying to make a kid confess he had spilled the milk.
Miss Vinty, we all have holidays, but you should never resort to crime.
What, poor people had no right to go on trips? Sure, it was 2 weeks later with my last rent, but still, cut me a break. I need to go. With a twitchy smile, I squeezed past the landlady and headed for the stairs. Gee, she better not call the cops on me or anything. Maybe I should have told her about that grant I got. And so I turned up at the airport 8 hours before takeoff. A timely arrival will be fitting of a calm lady, if you ask me. If someone offered me a job at this airport, I would gladly accept it. The staff wore uniforms grand enough for a banquet, and the aircon meant no more reeking of sweat during the summer shifts. Air conditioning, I'm guessing. Unlike that grand restaurant I worked in, the hallways here were wide enough to fit 1,000 Vinties. Sunlight peered in through the glass panels to my left, making the ceiling lights obsolete. Maybe I should quit my restaurant job and apply to become a flight attendant. Yes, I can imagine the passengers' reactions now. Look, Mommy, that girl is so pretty. Excuse me, madam. Vinty's your name according to the pilot. A charming name outmatched only by your beauty. Smell of fried chicken snapped me from my trance. A man strolled toward me with a bucket of chicken wings in his hands. I recognized his face as well as that body odor. It was the guy who had made fun of my calligraphy twice on the streets.
Hey, you're the calligrapher girl who thinks she's hot stuff, the man said,
spitting a piece of chicken onto my face.
Alright, that's really gross. I would have, like, socked this dude by now.
Good thing I've already landed from my flight, he continued. If I have to catch the same plane as you, I'd rather swim.
I wish he did swim and drown, or get eaten by sharks. Just ignore him, Vinty. We already got a crazy calligrapher dubstep remix with original. This world had no need for a sequel. What? The troll kept eating his chicken as he walked off. Seriously, one day, karma would make him choke on those bones.
This is not a place for me to give a lesson on how there's a difference between the trolling and being an asshole. 'Cause that guy's an asshole. Anyway.
Just waited till I mastered all the secrets behind Exilia's success. This guy would crawl back and beg for a chance to kiss my cheeks. Not that I would let those greasy lips touch me. Seeing this troll again did, however, remind me of why I came here. I had devoted myself to the path of a calligrapher. The flight attendant job I had dreamed about belonged in a different life.
I love those planes for some reason. Look at those tiny engines! And those completely unaerodynamic wings.
I shifted my attention to those planes docked behind the windows. Having only seen them in flight, I had no idea they were this big up close. To regular flyers, this might be nothing more than a bus ride, but for me, I might as well be boarding a spaceship. Once the crowd cleared, I pulled out my phone and stuck in a few photos. Now the time had come for me to ride on one of these planes. My heart started to race from the anticipation. As I lined up for boarding, I checked the displays over and over to make sure I was on the right flight. Landing in the wrong country would be too tragic, even by Vinty standards. I thought I could score a close-up view of the plane as I boarded, but a tunnel connected me directly inside. The disappointment made me pout a little. A flight attendant stood by the entrance. With a smile like that, I almost thought she was applying for a beauty pageant. The passengers in front showed this lady their tickets before boarding. "Good morning, miss," the staff said when my turn came. I gave a nervous nod as I showed her my ticket. The lady beamed and pointed towards the left column of seats. "Thank you for traveling with us." Let's see, row 32, found it.
There, at least in the US, no airlines are this polite. No way.
Passengers around me stashed their suitcases into those cabinets located above the seats. After slinging off my backpack, I reached for my cabinet handle, but they were out of my grasp. A staff came over and helped me pack away the bag. Some kid nearby chuckled at me as he climbed onto the seat to stow away his luggage. What a cheating brat. I smiled upon confirming that my chair was positioned next to the window. A must for newbie flyers, really. I took my seat and gazed out the window at a van delivering gourmet food to the neighboring planes. The glass panel was smaller than I'd hoped, but it would have to do. A couple packed their suitcases into my cabinet before taking the two seats next to me. I swore I caught them sneering when I snapped a photo of the window view. Cool, it must be an on-flight policy to make fun of everyone who liked planes. Sorry if I had missed the memo. The passengers started to strap on their seatbelts, so I followed suit and fastened mine as well. I would have spaced that between 2 clicks, but whatever. As we moved towards the runway, I smiled at the other planes landing from the skies. This must be how excited kids felt when they browsed toy catalogs.
Cabin crew be seated for takeoff.
Seconds after that announcement, the plane engines began to roar. The plane chittered as it accelerated along the runway. Thankfully, it lasted for only a moment, as the wheels soon lifted off the ground and into the air. I'd always loved looking at planes as they passed overhead. Today I got to admire the view from the other side. The cars below looked so tiny, and soon after, even the trucks had shrunk into dots. After unclipping my seatbelt, I stood up to head for the bathroom. I bumped knees with the woman beside me, and she frowned as I squirmed by. The window seat did have its bad points, after all. As I shuffled towards the front of the plane, I passed several rows of seats with enough legroom to satisfy even my landlady. These must be business class chairs, or first class, or whatever they were called. I doubted I would ever get to experience such luxury. As I passed these first class seats, I spotted a girl kneeling on the floor, stretching her arm under a chair. Her pose reminded me of a homeless person reaching for a coin in the gutter. Certainly not something I'd expected to see from an upper-class snob. But then I recognized who this person was. Go figure. Aside from her tiny eyes, the girl on her knees looked exactly like Excelia. She had the same blue hair and featured in those shampoo ads. Her calligrapher attire seemed to belong to a different era. This had to be Excelia without a doubt. Our plane was heading for Melbourne, so that made sense. What was with the tiny eyes, though? Maybe her eyes were actually photoshopped and those posters looked big. No need to be ashamed, Excelia. I understood the pain all too well. Did Excelia drop her glasses under that chair? She always had a pair on in those commercials. I heard some men got off on that.
True. It's out there. Don't Google it without safe search on. Well, actually, if you Googled it with safe search on, you wouldn't find it. But anyway.
A couple of Excelia's bodyguards crouched beside her and tried to reach under the chair as well. Too bad their bulky arms had no hope of reaching under the seat. A small stature like mine might have a chance, though. As I approached Excelia, her guards rose and stepped forward to block my path. Relax, I only came for the glasses.
She doesn't tell them that. She just kind of thinks that.
I ducked under the seat, and as I'd guessed, Excelia's glasses sat on the far end. My whole body managed to fit under the chair, so I crawled in and retrieved the spectacles with ease. Should I feel proud about that? Yeah, probably not. I climbed out and offered the glasses to Excelia. One of her guards snatched them from my hand instead.
There you go, boss.
The guard said, handing the glasses back to Excelia. What a suck-up. It was me who got them out of this mess. Oh well, I never expected anything in return anyway. Why was I here again? Oh right, the bathroom. There, much better. The flush sounded so strong inside this toilet. If I shifted my head too close, the force might suck me right out of the plane.
So she meets her hero and then just... Oh, I guess maybe she really had to go. I don't know.
Wait, why would I put my face anywhere near the bowl to begin with? I better return to my seat and catch up on some sleep. After washing my hands, I stepped out of the bathroom. When I walked past Excelia, she waved at me to come and sit next to her. I felt unworthy of the honor, though to be honest, seeing her tiny eyes in real life did remind me that she too was only human. Maybe we were in fact on the same level after all. And then Excelia put on her glasses. Oh. So much for us being on the same level. Excelia could put a bag of peanuts on her seat and it would be more worthy of the chair than I. As I took the seat next to Excelia, I could smell the scent of her perfume. It must be from that same brand she always endorsed in those ads of hers. I read in a magazine that Excelia was only a year older. How could I catch her in such a short time? I would have better luck giving up and going after that flight attendant career instead.
Sorry about the guards,
Excelia said. Please give me a chance to thank you properly. Those words meant for my ears? Oh god, Excelia just spoke to me. Her guards had taken seats on the adjacent side. That meant I had a chance for some one-on-one time with her. Most calligraphers would pray their whole lives and never have this opportunity. If I wanted to catch Excelia, I'd better observe and mimic her every action. That's not how you succeed. Once Excelia put her glasses back on, the air around her seemed to sparkle. If I had brought my sunnies, I would have put them on right about now. I wonder if Excelia knew how to turn these sparkles off. If not, how did she even sleep? Did she glitter while sitting on the loo as well? Okay, digging a bit too deep there. My name's Vinti, I stammered. Sure, I know you, Excelia said. Would have expected nothing less from someone who had traveled across the globe. She must have seen my works on the streets before. I think she would actually remember? Perhaps I had some talent after all. Excelia chuckled without opening her lips. The laugh sounded like it belonged to a villain in some cheesy horror film. You're the girl from that dubstep video on YouTube, Excelia said, her mouth hardly opening as she spoke. This must be one of her keys to being so elegant. Let me take some mental notes. At any rate, all hopes of Excelia respecting me just went flying out the window or flushed down the toilet since we were on a plane. Why was there a dubstep calligraphy video? I don't... whatever. What would you like to eat? Excelia asked. It's on me. But that'd be against the rules. My seat is actually near the back. I gripped my armrest to lift myself up and leave. Excelia grabbed my shoulder and pressed me back down. I'm a frequent flyer, so just leave it to me. With a wink, she handed me a menu from the pouch in front of her. I would rather return to my seat and avoid troubling the staff, but for now, I opened the menu for a flip through. pomodoro e olive con ricotta salata, pancetta del Rinascimento. I had no clues what these were. I only knew about food court meals. 2 for $5 sushi, rice with 3 choices, that kind of thing. Perhaps I should ask Celia for a common folk translation, but that would only highlight our differences in status. I ended up pointing at a random dish on the menu instead. A flight attendant was pouring tea for a passenger. As soon as Celia snapped her fingers, the staff spilled his drink and scurried over to us. Well, that's kind of shitty. The passenger, with his pants drenched in tea, yelled at the attendant, but his complaints went unnoticed. Celia told the attendant what dishes she wanted from the menu. She pronounced those names as well as I could recite my favorite brands of instant noodles. You'd think she also ordered on my behalf to save me the embarrassment. I'd already forgotten the name of my own dish. Is your friend sitting in first class? The attendant asked, no doubt suggesting I would have to pay for this meal. I opened my wallet and remembered I bought only enough cash to survive for 2 days in Melbourne. Not quite enough for a single first-class meal, I bet. If I sold my wallet, plus helped these attendants wash the dishes, that might almost be enough to cover the cost. This music is so overdramatic. Celia clapped her hands. One of the guards left to her attention. He handed her a silver credit card. Or were they platinum? These cards belong to a different world from mine. Hey, I had cards too, thank you very much. Just one more stamp till I scored a free water bottle from that coffee shop next door. The attendant bowed to Exilia as he accepted her card. Once he walked off, Exilia nodded at her guard, and he returned to her seat. His seat. Is he really okay? I asked. I might never be able to pay you back. Exilia once again chuckled with pursed lips. Did she have spinach in her teeth or something? No need to worry. It's just pocket change, Exilia said. She probably had more money in her pocket than I did in my bank account. So you're a crazed calligrapher as well? Exilia asked. Crazy calligrapher. I heard it. She wanted to call me crazy calligrapher. I cursed that YouTube video with my heart and soul. With a nod, I pulled out my phone and showed her a snap of my latest work. I was sick when I made this, but yeah. By sick, I meant I had sneezed once while I was working. Oh, Venti, always with the excuses. My heart raced as Exilia leaned toward the display. Her perfume could probably charm just about any man. It even got me pretty good, truth be told. It's off to a good start, Exilia muttered before pulling back with a smile. To be fair, I never expected she would be moved to tears or anything. I took that blurry photo with my 3-year-old phone, after all. At least she had the courtesy to hold back her pun, leaving me with only a bloody nose rather than a broken one. I still have a bitter taste on my tongue, though. Indeed, Exilia boasted a more impressive portfolio, but hype must have played a part as well. If I had the same marketing power, surely I would be noticed. Speaking of hype, Exilia could catch a cold and the news would report on it. This could be my opportunity to get a leg up, as people like to say. I don't want to use Exilia as a stepladder, but I think this might be my only chance. Okay. Do you think you could share my works on Twitter and Reddit? I asked. I had already made it big on YouTube, so I guess those 2 sites would be next. Exilia narrowed her eyes at me. Oh no, now I had done it. She would ban me from her event for making such a shameless request. If I apologized and returned to my seat now, maybe I could be spared from entering her blacklist. Just email some photos, Exilia said as her smile returned. Last time I sent Exilia a fan mail, she never replied, so I thought she had no time for peasants like me. Maybe she just had too much on, because in person, she was sweeter than a banana split. I thanked her over and over as I attached several photos of my work into an email on my phone. Note to self to hit that send button as soon as the plane landed. No Wi-Fi. The chef marched up to us with a plate on each hand. After presenting the plates to Exilia and me, he pulled the lids off. The smell of fries and potatoes wafted my nostrils and made my mouth water. Could know wealthy people ate chips too. My meal looked like I had ordered sausage that coiled around it resembled dog poo. Sorry, it was the first thing that came to mind. But really, they should have just named this dish World's Tiniest Sausage. I could never understand why rich people paid so much for these tiny servings. As for Exilia, I thought she would have seafood or some other classy dish, but it turned out she had ordered a beef burger. I found that kind of cute, actually. Exilia picked up a napkin from the plate and tied it around her neck. Whew, I was just about to use mine to blow my nose. Thank God I waited. I looped the napkin around my neck just like Exilia did. Fake it till you make it, as people always said. I might just have taken my first step towards stardom.
Well, I'm getting the feeling that at least the first half of this is going to be her fangirling over Exilia and eventually doing something on during the presentation. Or maybe saving Exilia somehow in Melbourne. I don't know how dramatic this is going to get. But I like the pacing of it. It moves at a pretty rapid clip. Some of the jokes are kind of weak, but for the most part it's cute. So yeah, Without Within 2. Not bad. I don't know if I'm going to keep pursuing it, but it's pretty solid. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments, and consider subscribing so you get videos like this on the regular. I put up a lot of stuff every day. If you help me out on Patreon using the link in the upper corner, you can help me put out even more. You can also check me out on Twitter with the username on the lower right, or swing by my website, Negabun.com, for all sorts of content, written, video, and otherwise, that I do regarding gaming.